mountains. Thank God. A balmy 57 degrees. Hola, hola, good afternoon. We are back up in the Telluride area. What highway is this? I think it's 145. I'm going to put on the intermittent wipers. Our wonky wipers are gone because we got a new truckster. Let's see the issue here with the camera. Trying to keep it stable. I'll be right back. Okay. Trying to get this all squared away. It's nice to be back up in the cool mountain air. The traffic's been very, very cooperative. It's been actually nice. Don't have any, the problem, I say traffic, it's not necessarily traffic per se as it is getting behind somebody who is just moseying around, taking their sweet time, enjoying the scenery, and that is 100% all fine with me. I don't care. However, this is one thing that I do. When I am impeding people, I pull over if I can and let them get around me. I do that all the time because I don't like people at my back door. It's like, go on, nothing to see here, keep moving. If I was in a car and I was just taking my time, I'd pull over right there, let them go, and then get back on the road, taking my sweet time. The problem that I have with people is they don't move, they don't care. There's someone behind you and they don't care. And I've heard truck drivers tell other drivers, like, don't worry about people behind you. Screw them, basically. Forget them. And for the most part, yes, that's true. You can't bend over backwards for people who actually despise you because you are a big rig. Whether it be a mixer truck, a trash truck, a semi truck. They really do despise us. Usually you get somebody like that right there who will jot out in front of you because they don't want to be behind a truck, not really realizing they can pass. And we get some that do, and I don't have a problem if you pass, go ahead and pass. Just, if you see me coming back up on you again, there's a problem now. That problem is now you're going too slow. So why did you pass? Why did you take up the lane? If you're just going to take your time, and that happens, not a lot, but it happens. I'd say about 25% of the time people will pass. Maybe not quite that much, maybe 20. They'll pass, and then because they're passing a truck. So when they pass me, they don't realize I'm a bit on I lean to the right of the center on aggressive driving. Just a little bit of center, not a lot. Some people may think a lot, but just a little bit. So if you're gonna pull in front of me, keep it moving, Jack. How Biden says it. Come on, Jack. So you still got 57 balmy. The reason I'm talking about the traffic is there was a Jeep that was pulled over on a turnout, and he almost pulled up in front of me. I thought he was going to, but the passenger was getting in the passenger seat, so wasn't quite ready to do that. But then I looked, and not maybe a mile later, he was right there beckoning at my trailer. I think he just disappeared, and now that Prius is coming up. Yeah, I have no problem. You're gonna come up, get on me, pass me, just keep it moving. You know. That's why I say the traffic's been nice. We haven't had any issues like that, which is a great relief, as well as this cooling effect that the mountains bring with them whilst we're up here. We are actually on the 145, close to, we're on the east or north side of Lizard Head Pass. So I guess it would be the north side, because your odd numbers go north and south. Even numbers go east and west. I've got to recycle some bottles of water here on my floorboard. I've got like 3 empty bottles of water. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 empty bottles of water. I save them to recycle them when I can. But they roll around my floor right here. They're just little bottles of water is all. I wouldn't say little. How much are they? They are a pint. 23.7 ounces. I buy the Wally World brand, 9.5 pH. And it's like I can't drink any water that's not pH anymore. I mean, I can, but I just love the taste of it so much. Since I drink so much water, I become a connoisseur. So there's this canyon over by Boulder, Colorado, called El Dorado Canyon. And there's an El Dorado Spring, and it's south of Boulder. And they used to have a tap come right out of the mountain, and you could just fill your 5-gallon jug up. And now they actually market the water, and it was always excellent tasting water. But after drinking the pH water, I find it second-class citizen. I don't find it as good as I used to. One of my kids, younger, used to call it Autorado water. Because he couldn't say El Dorado. Anyway, they have a huge Olympic-sized swimming pool in that canyon. I need to take my daughter, granddaughter, both my daughters and their kids over there. No chlorine, no additives whatsoever in this pool. There's Lizard Head Pass. Again, I know I've got it in other videos in the winter time and summer like now. Today is July 25th. 56 balmy up here on Lizard Head. So the water runs into the pool and then back out. The spring water. The best swim you've ever had. And the water's like drinking water. You're swimming in drinking water. It sounds like a waste, but that's just the way the runoff is. It comes out the mountain that way, continues on its trail. They just put a swimming pool in between the two. And a water bottling plant. I like this spot in the wintertime. It can get kind of hairy and fun. The wind and the snow and the just overall experience of it is absolutely a thrill. A second. And I'm surprised that Prius caught up to us pretty fast. I find it surprising because Prius drivers are, besides being some amongst the worst drivers in the world, well, sorry, it's just how I see it on the highway. You know, when you have an issue, you're like, what the heck's wrong with this person? Same thing like with the minivans. Again, I'm sorry. It's just how I see it. You see, if there's a car holding up 10 people, it's going to be one of those two cars. It's going to be a minivan or a Prius. Of all different types of people, there's not one particular breed. I will say I think a particular mindset, but as far as physicality goes, there's no difference. And there's no set pattern. They're young, old, small, tall, thin, fat, ugly, pretty. You name it. It's every group in there. 13,113 feet for that peak, but I didn't catch it. But it's in the video, so you might be able to back it up right there. It's on that little green sign there. Yeah, as a truck driver, you're supposed to read every sign. I wasn't reading. I just caught it and then I started reading. Anyway, yeah, so if you ever get a chance to go to El Dorado Canyon by Boulder, Colorado, check out the swim. I think it's still there. This is like 20 years ago. Maybe more than that. 25 years ago that we used to go there. But I don't see why they would have gotten rid of it. And I don't remember if it was free or if they were charging, but so what? If they charge, it's well worth it. If you've ever swam in a pool with no chlorine, you literally could drink the water. I wouldn't, just because there's people in there, but maybe on the inlet side. Well, there's no need to do that anyway. Gotta use a little brake action here because we're sitting here flapping our gums and not really paying attention to the highway. I am in my peripheral vision. I was just talking to my daughter about it the other day, Sarah. I'm like, that dog bugs me. They got a little dog, my daughter Marilyn, and he, like if you ever took a laser and put it up against the wall and played with a dog or a cat and they chased it around, and while you're playing with them, I think he got messed up when he was little because he does it all the time when there's nothing there. And if there is anything shining, reflecting off the ground, like you would have, is that a state trooper up there? It kind of looks like it. Reflecting off the ground, you know, he spazzes out about it. But He does it all the time. No, it's not a trooper. And I told her, I go, I got to put this dog on a leash, on a cable by the tree, because he's driving me crazy. She goes, you worry about the dogs too much, or that dog. I go, no, you don't understand. It's like I drive all the time, so I'm hyper vigilant. Even my peripheral vision is hyper vigilant. And I thought we lost the Prius for a minute. No, it's still there. Anyway, when I'm driving, to a degree, it's stressful. And when I'm not driving, that's when I want to relax and chill out. Oh, there's a campsite right there. Campground. I'm going to have to remember that because it's got a little creek with it. To the left of us here. Anyway, when I'm chilling out at the house and this dog is going in circles and flipping all around and left, right, zigzag, up and down, back and forth, boom, 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 boom. I go, even when I'm not paying attention to him, my peripheral vision is, and it stresses me out. And I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but he's driving me crazy. So I got to put him on a leash so that I can relax. I put him on the leash so that he'll chill out. He can't move all around like that. No, I say a leash. We have a stake in the ground with about a 8-foot, 10-foot leash on it, cable, not chain but cable, so he can move it around. And that stops him. It actually does, and then I can relax. I go, it's really hard to do that. My peripheral is being, what's the word? Tested, I guess, is the word. Can't relax when you're being tested. Anyway, so they found a decent free campsite. The creek there is running to the left of us. There's Cold Creek. I'm sure there are fish in there, but it's only a very deep creek. So I don't anticipate huge fish in there. Anyway, there's a lot of camping sites here to the left. We are north of Rico. I think Rico is the word for rich in Spanish. So you have Tío Rico is a rich uncle, I think. There's a nice pool right there. So anyway, I had last Friday I delivered tires to Grand Junction. It was in the morning, and my daughter called me up to tell me her car was broken down on the side of the road between Fruta and Grand Junction. She has a 2015 Kia Optima. And I go, well, you need to see if you can call the insurance company and see if they have a free tow, because I think you will have one. And look into towing it to Kia or to the house. So she did some looking into it. Now, prior to this, she called me up and told me she messed up. Kind of. And I go, how? And that creek doesn't look too bad, actually. Anyway, her key fob was giving her issues. She'd have to press it a bunch of times. And so she took it down there to Kia. They looked at it and they said, well, your key fob is gone. It's not the battery, it's the fob itself. We'll get you another one if you want. She ordered one. It was like $250, reprogrammed and everything. And here comes the move of the Prius, California. So I don't give it too much time before they start hindering us. Anyway, it's another subject. So she goes, I found them online for like $100. And I go, well, call them and see if you can cancel it. And then order one. Instead of paying $250, pay $100. We can reprogram it, blah, blah, blah. She did some more research, which you should always do. And other people told her the same thing the dealer told her, which was, yeah, you could get them for $100, but half of the time they don't work. So you end up having to spend more money anyway. And I'm like, just go with the dealer. Just keep what you already ordered. So then she goes in and gets her key fob replaced. It came in. And then they had some recalls on the car. So they fixed those recalls. So she goes, after they had the recalls fixed, the car was given issues. And I go, what did they do? She goes, they put in a sensor on, like a brake sensor or something, a wheel sensor. I go, it has nothing to do with the engine. So that wouldn't have caused it. So then she calls me back, goes, okay, I talked to Kia. Kind of glad she did the key fob thing because they said that they would do a diagnostic free of charge. I'm like, you can't beat that. Take it to Kia. And if not, whatever we find out, we'll either tow it back to the house and I'll fix it, or we'll just have them fix it. 9 times out of 10, probably just have them fix it. By the time you invest into another charge, a tow charge and part, all the other stuff is better just have them do it. It's expensive as it is. Anyway, at the same time, she asked if she could borrow the V because she didn't have a car to do some of the errands that she had to do. I go, come by and get the keys from me. And which she did. Anyway, she told me that she was having issues like at stop signs and stop lights, and she would go, the car would kind of feel like it would load up on her and like kind of hesitate and then boom, take off. And it had started doing this after they did the recall thing. And I'm like, okay, well, they take it down there, blown engine. And my first question to her was, have you been putting oil in it? Have you been checking the oil? And she goes, yeah. And the car is warranted. They're going to put a brand new engine in her car for her, for a 2015 Kia Optima. Here's the kicker though. It has a branded title. And I know that when you have a branded title, it voids all warranties. Because that's the same thing with my, I've said with other vehicles. Anyway, the Telluride. There's that old Jeep right there. It's worth some money. I see a for sale sign in it. Apparently, oh, look at that old Dodge Dart. Is it Valiant? I think it's a Valiant. The part that they put in, that guy waved to me, so I gave him the peace sign. The part that they're warranting the engine because the recall they put in killed the engine. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Nope. So now they're giving her a loaner car for the month that it'll take to do the engine. And she's getting a brand new engine in the car. There's like 92,000 miles on it, something like that. Anyway, I was like, man, did you luck out? I'm going to stop here and get something to drink, I think, if I can. some, but it doesn't look like it. I don't want to close up the driveway. Yeah, it's open, but I'll get something in Dolores or Cortez. So anyway, yeah, she's going to get a brand new engine because of the recall. It all came because of the fob. But had she not had that recall, her engine would still be running. So then she asked me, she's like, will my car be worth more money with a new engine in it? And I'm like, well, yeah. It's going to improve the price because, you know, usually your mileage is drivetrain based. So if you got a lot of miles, not only do you have it on the car, but it's also the mileage. So you got a brand new engine. You almost have a brand new car. As you have a brand new tranny with it, then you would really be sitting pretty. But irregardless, you're going to be fine. So it all worked out pretty good. This highway. I think this is, yeah, it is the one I did my very first YouTube video. It was on Highway 145. And it was titled, How to Drive a Semi-Truck in the Snow. And it got ratioed. I know some of you have heard it, some you probably haven't. But it got ratioed, which means more dislikes than likes. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I did it as a joke. You know, I was mocking truck drivers. I was making fun of them. It wasn't actually teaching you how to drive a semi in the snow. If you actually had seen the video, it was, it should be apparent that it was things that you shouldn't be doing. You know, cruising along at 65 in snow. We were on snow, you know. I passed somebody, but you can pass, as you can see right here. I didn't pass him at 65. I slowed down, make sure it was good and clear before I did it, but yeah, I passed him. Anyway, that video I took down because it was brutal. And it is what ended up leading to the channel. It wasn't, I never started out to make a channel. That's why I never say click like and subscribe. I never tried to start a channel. But after all the complaints and all the feedback I got from it, I was like, okay, maybe I should be serious. And so then I got serious and gave really good pointers on and stuff on how to drive in the snow. I find it funny sometimes when people comment some of their comments, you know, and I can understand it. They've driven in the South all their lives, and when you get in snow, yeah, it's scary. Is it slippery? Absolutely, you know. But there's a lot more to it. That's probably why I made so many videos about it, is because there is a lot to it. I remember I got into a battle with a guy one time. What do we got here? What do we got here? Cows. The ranchers. I don't see the ranchers though. Is he gonna make it? Is she gonna do it? Yep, she's gonna do it. Well, we don't play this game here. I don't care if you're a Texas Longhorn or not. You're not going to dictate to me. Anyway, so yeah, I got into this debate with this guy, you know, and he's like, you shouldn't be teaching people how to jake brake in the snow. And I go, I understand that you, being from the South, have no clue, but don't worry, I got this. And he's like, 30 years Canada. And I replied, LFMOG or whatever that is. AO, LMFAO, something like that. 30 years of driving in the snow, and you never figured out how to use your jake? He never responded to that comment. And you know, you're not supposed to jake in the snow. But you can, and you should at times. But you gotta know when, how, and why, what to do, how to do it, and all that other good stuff, and when you should, when you shouldn't. Don't jake when you're light and empty. Plain and simple. A lot of this stuff's common sense. And if you lack common sense, a lot of times you'll be on the side of the road. Or on your side of your truck. I know there's a lot of people out there that thought that, you know, because I'm a bit of the right of the aggressive side of driving, that it's just a matter of when, not if, that I go in a ditch. And I have been in a ditch, you know, but it was backing up doing 3 miles an hour when I realized I was too close to the edge, and I stopped because I was backing up in a blizzard, which if I had to do it all over again, I would never have done that. I would have continued going straight up forward like I should have been doing, but I thought, oh, in case I can't make it, it was my rookie years, in case I can't make it, at least I'm facing forward going downhill. But I was backing up and the wind was blowing, the snow all around, I couldn't see. And I go, oh no, I'm too close to the edge. I stopped, and boom, the truck slid into the ditch. So it wasn't like I lost control. I went in the ditch, but yeah, I went in the ditch. Anyway, so I've been driving for quite a few. I've been with Quality for 10 years, and been driving 20 years prior to that up in the mountains, and that was the only time I went off highway. Well, when I say off highway, off into the ditch. I've gone off highway as far as actually driving the truck. Even this, go up into the mountains on a dirt road, snowpack, because you got to make a delivery. That's off highway. So almost 30 years, and their fruition to me hasn't happened. So is it possible it still happen? Absolutely. You know, never say never. But you have to understand and know what you're doing to minimize the risks of that happening. We right now are hauling clay soft. It's sawdust chunks, playground wood chips, if you will, bulk. Shot it in there with a conveyor belt, and they'll empty it with a big scoop Bobcat. I think this is actually the part that I did, yeah it is, that I did my very first video. And yeah, I took it down. The reason I took it down, because it was brutal, and You know, a lot of the people who knew what was going on kind of chuckled. A lot of people didn't know what was going on and wanted to attack me and cancel me and blah, blah, blah. But after a while, I was like, okay, you had your fun, you posted, you made your point. You made fun of truckers who cry about driving in the snow, and go ahead and take it down. However, I should have saved it somewhere just because, but it's gone forever. I think it's gone forever. I don't know if YouTube archives the stuff even after you delete it. I don't know. So I was looking at, like Anderson Windows came one time, or came by and offered me my 13 windows replaced in my house for like 35 grand. I almost signed. But I'm like, that's like 2,500, 3 grand a window. And I remember walking through Home Depot, Lowe's, one of them too, and saw a window about the size that I needed for like $350 retail. I'm like, how is that? And then I asked, can I get my windows made? They said yes. So I actually, they had one window. And I told my son-in-law, I'm like, look, I can replace the one window that got broken. There was like 2 windows, like one window, and then 2 inches apart, another window. That's how they did it back in the days. The house is 74. Anyway, his friend tripped over my granddaughter Mila, and hit the glass and broke the one window. We're going to, old windows anyway, want to replace them. So I went into Lowe's and looked at their price of a custom window, size-wise. And with a $150 discount at the moment, it was $850, which is a far cry from the $250 to $350 of their standard size windows. Anyway, but that's still a heck of a lot cheaper than the 3 grand from Anderson per window. But it is installed. I'm doing the labor and all the other stuff. Anyway, I found one. I told my son-in-law, I go, well, look here, this window will fit width-wise, but not really height-wise. But I could do it with a spacer, if you will. Cover it with trim and drywall or whatever. Anyway, he's like, yeah, if that works. And then I was at Lowe's, and then I went over to Home Depot, and they had a window that fit perfect. It was the perfect size, a little tight, but it fit for $258. So I bought it, and I changed that one window out with a brand new window. Double-sided, I think it was gas filled. I'm not 100% sure on that, but anyway. So it was replaced, and it came out, you can't even tell that I did the work on there, except for the seal, the very bottom part, because they had an acrylic base or something for the windowsill, and now I have a wood for the windowsill. Because the other one had a crack in it, and then it ended up breaking again, so it was two pieces. I could have easily glued it back together and put it on there, but it's better to go with the new. Anyway, my daughter goes, oh great, because when she got home from her little camping trip, the window's out. Me and my other daughter Sarah are putting it in there, and she goes, oh, this is going to turn out ghetto, huh? I go, yep, it'll be ghetto. Well, I know Corey told me about the gap that you might have to cover up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be ghetto. So anyway, it fit right in there, and we put it all back. You can't even tell I was there except for the windowsill. And I go, it's pretty ghetto, huh? The only thing I messed up was I made sure that the control for the window was on the inside of the house, which it was, but you can put it left or right. And I put it left, and it was supposed to be right. That's the only difference. But I told Marilyn that I could still, I wanted to put different trim on the outside of the windows so I could redo the trim, which I'm going to do anyway. Taking that window out made me realize I need to redo the trim. I go, technically I could pull this trim off and then pull that window back out again and flip it around if you want it to open the same way the other window opened, which was from the right to the left. Now it goes from the left to the right. But anyway, we'll see. She goes, well, I'm not too worried about it. It looks good though. I'm like, yeah, a little ghetto, but... And then she goes, well, Coy told me it was going to need a spacer. I go, well, initially it was going to, but then I found this one, and it was the right size, so I'm good to go. So yeah, even if I do with my own labor, if I do these other windows, they're going to be about $850 to $1,000 a piece. Not installed, but the installation wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad at all. And we are on our way to Casa Grande for a 12 o'clock tomorrow appointment, but we'll be there tonight. Sometimes he has me drop at the Phoenix Yard, but he hasn't said anything yet, so I'm assuming we're going to deliver it. But right now, I want to get to Cortez so we get something to eat, because I'm a little bit hungry. Too fast for that corner. close to Dolores. It's the next town we come to, and then Cortez. Marking something out. We haven't been this way in a little while, but feels good to be back here again. 59, balmy. Glad we're getting the moisture. The way these clouds are hanging over these hills over here to our left, coming into view. I haven't done much fishing this season. I've done a little bit, but not like I used to do. Of course, what I used to do was on paper. But now with the Obama log, I mean, you could still do it with the Obama log, but it just depends on the load and when you have to be at a certain place, and if you have the time. You know, if let's say you have 9 hours and it's going to take 8 hours to get there, well, you're going to have to do a break, and so you got to take that into consideration. So that leaves a half an hour. See if you know what movie that's from. I'll tell you at the end. Then, if you want to stop 5-10 minutes, you could probably get away with that. But, you know, if you're on the clock and it's ticking away, so you can't really play around too much. But when you're on paper, it just doesn't matter. You just mark it when you get there, because you know you're going to get there. Well, with the E-log, you can possibly not get there because it won't let you. You're a violator. think the speed limit's 65 in here. We're doing that now, but we haven't been doing that steady. I saw this gray pickup truck coming up behind me, and I first thought was a state trooper, and I'm like, okay, well, he was pretty far back, but I'm like, well, I've actually been under the speed limit. Either under it or right at it. So I think we'll call this video good for now. Like I said, we just got done with a break on the weekend, and I got the microphone fixed, so I was able to do videos again, which is nice. I don't think this is Dolores yet. I wonder why it's 55, I don't remember. Anyway, that half an hour is from Waterworld. And I'm sure there's a clip on YouTube. Usually it is. I look up movie clips now and then. You could probably just say half an hour of Waterworld. It might bring that up. Anyway, that being said, thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Until the next time, enjoy. Peace. That was a Nissan little van. Never seen it before. But we just dodged a mouse, and we missed it. I know everybody else is probably running over, but I kind of don't roll that way. Everything is alive. Everything deserves to exist. Just as much as I deserve to exist, I reckon. I wasn't going to go too much further. I went just enough, and that was it. If he made it, he made it. If not, he didn't. But actually, he did, and he started heading back to the shoulder. See ya!